barbed wire fence. The square of black earth exposed by her digging is small, but she has made a start. Each day she will add to it, as long as this good spell of May weather holds, and if her back complains, she will vary her activity. Plenty of other jobs await her in the neglected plot. Flower beds, anonymous in the brown sludge of decayed vegetation, untidy grass cloaked in rotting ash leaves, bushes unpruned, whippy stems surrounding a central body like a bad haircut. She smiles, and the skin of her face creases again. Oh yes, there is plenty to be done, but it is for this reason, among many others, that she has bought the cottage. She loves to get her hands dirty. Her last garden was as big as this, and even more neglected when she bought the property, but slowly and painstakingly she had planned its rejuvenation. And although she had needed help with the heavier jobs, the majority of it was her own hard labour. Everything she planted there had grown to gigantic proportions. Little chance of the same happening here, on this exposed slope on the side of an upland valley, but it is nevertheless a challenge. Gathering up spade and fork, she stands a minute, drinking in the view. Her mop of white hair is untidy now, her cheek smeared with the mud she has wiped across it from her glove. She is not good-looking, her teeth irregular, and her nose exhibiting a tendency to redness. The skin of her face has begun to sag. Sometimes she stares at her reflection in the bathroom mirror and gently pulls the skin back towards her ears, as she knows they do in plastic surgery. The effect is immediate. She loses 15 years in an instant. She gives a wry smile. Her face in repose makes her look sad, but when she smiles, her cheeks dimple. Then, like all who smile, she is beautiful. Liz cleans the garden implements and returns them to the shed. The phone is ringing when she steps into the kitchen. She hurries to the windowsill. "Hello, Elizabeth Dayton speaking." "Hi, Liz. It's me. Are you alone?" She toys with the idea of a sarcastic response, but sarcasm always leaves her feeling mean-spirited, so she merely replies, "Of course. What are you doing?" "I'm about to make a cup of tea. Care to join me?" "Have you been busy?" he asks, ignoring her question. "Yes, I'm starting to sort out the garden. How about you?" Knowing what the answer will be. "Awful. Loads of work piling in at the moment. Can't seem to get on top of it. And the study's a tip. I need to get that sorted out before I start." She smiles. How many times has she heard that before? Remembering the days when she used to visit, and he would heave piles of books and papers onto the floor to make room for her to sit. "Oh, sorry." The tone becomes businesslike. "The meal's ready. I'll speak to you later." The line goes dead. She stands a moment, the handset clamped to her ear. "Goodbye," she replies coolly into the silence, and clatters down the phone. She stares out of the window in a bad humour, surprised that the sun is still shining as brightly as it was. Taking off the old jacket that she uses for gardening, her feet search for the slip-ons that she discarded under the table at breakfast time. Not that she stayed still for more than a couple of minutes. Breakfast has become a time of snatched mouthfuls while she dries her hair, or feeds the cat, or rakes the ashes from the grate. She can't sit down. The sound of the news programme, grimly detailing its latest catalogue of misery, is too impersonal a companion. At other meals, the computer or the television gives her a face, or at least a screen. At breakfast, she cannot afford to idle, for fear her thoughts will uncover the heart-heaviness that lurks always just below the surface. She fills the kettle and switches it on. While she waits for it to boil, she takes down a circular biscuit tin from the shelf and cuts a generous slice from the fruit loaf contained within.